Fine. So in the last session, we completed up to cross-currency payments. Before we continue with this next topics, what we mentioned here, so we'll include one concept called as rapid implementation. So that if you come across case where instance get refreshed, you will be able to load the setups into application. Okay. So here we can take the concept called as rapid implementation. So it's all about loading the setup data through spreadsheet. We can specify the calendar related information, currency, chart of accounts information, private ledgers and LEs and business units. When you talk about chart of accounts, within the chart of account, what are the values we maintain under each segment or through value set, the company's departments account, all the information we can keep in the spreadsheet. That sheet we can load into the system. Based on the data which is available in the sheet, system will create the respective definitions. The same we call as rapid implementation. Simply we call as RI. Okay, RI. When I talk about this rapid implementation, so this rapid implementation is solution is available for which data that will anyway we'll see. Before we get into that, so what is the process we have to follow if you want to use this rapid implementation approach? Simply we call as RI. RI means rapid implementation. So first we have to download the templates. Okay, download RI templates and provide data. You have to provide the data depending on which template you are downloading. Relevant data you have to provide as per the templates how they already formatted as a data fields. We provide data into templates, then convert. Okay, convert templates. Okay, I will say create zip file. Okay, once you provide data into the template, you have to create that template into zip file. So system will take the data into that different formats and everything. It will take finally it will take into zip file, and that you can upload. Okay, file, nothing but zip file. Upload file into application instance. Okay, when you talk about provide data into template, just there will be a validation process generation that will say anyway. But these are the simple. Then you can finally after uploading you can find. Okay, find the data definitions in application. So upload the file into instance, then automatic system will create calendars, chart of accounts, primary ledger, LEs, business units and all. The same we can go and find it. Okay, now we'll see how just from where we can download the templates and how we can enter the data, how we can convert into zip file, and finally how to load the file into instance. After loading, we'll verify as we expect system is creating the specific definitions or not. Fine. So we are going to see the rapid implementation process. So to download the RI templates, just go to instance, and within the instance go to setup and maintenance. Go to task list, click on search. Okay, click on search. From here you can find the rapid implementation templates. Just search with the term called as rapid. Click on search. Okay, these are the different areas where you can use the rapid implementation approach. So within this, you can find many templates. These are the areas for different application wise and common definitions. Okay, when you are practicing, you can go through this list. Now we can go with this. Define common financial configuration for rapid implementation. Financial common configuration means chart of accounts, primary ledgers, and legal entities and business units. So click on this task list. This is the task list which consists of 15 tasks. Okay, task list name is define common financials configuration for rapid implementation. Click on this. So here we can see the different templates which are available as a common financial configuration. So now you can download this spreadsheet the, where you can enter chart of accounts, ledgers, legal entities, and business units information. Okay, just click on this task. It will download spreadsheet. Just click on open. Say okay. Just wait. Fine. This is a sheet. Now the first one is instructions. Okay, you can just go through this instruction before you work on it, but anyway we are going to see the process. You can just one time at least you can read from your end to understand this. Okay, how this rapid implementation spreadsheet works and what are the points we have to understand, that you can just go through this instruction sheet so you will get fair understanding about it. Now just move to the tab called as COA calendar and ledger tab. Here provide the name. Whatever the name you are going to give here, the same name system will take for your chart of accounts and calendar and ledger. Okay, so here we can give the name as Cloud RI. Okay, Cloud RI, Cloud Rapid Implementation. That means now system will create the chart of accounts, calendar and ledger with the same name. And currency field is optional. So based on the legal entity which you create in these sheets here, companies and legal entities. Okay, based on the legal entities, it will create the relevant ledger. Okay, so we don't need to give the currency. So you may have a scenario where you will be having multiple, you want to create multiple primary ledgers. So in that case, if you cannot specify multiple currencies here. So based on your legal entity only it will create. But in that scenario, chart of accounts, if you are going to use the common chart of accounts, in that case system can create multiple ledgers also. Okay, that point we'll discuss. Just once again we'll touch that. I'm selecting USD. Okay, if you don't give USD also, system will create the primary ledger with USD only. The reason we are going to give the legal entity which is belongs to USA. So depending on legal entities, system can create. Okay, it can create the primary ledgers definitions by using the same chart of accounts. Fine. And period frequency. The period frequency is required for calendar definition. Select period frequency, say monthly. Adjusting periods rule, say once at year end, and physical year start date to create the accounting calendar. See the format: month in 2 characters, date in 2 characters, year in 2 characters. So year in 4 characters, 4 digits, month. So physical year, what we need for USA is, accounting financial year. So 01 you specify month John, date first 01. So if you give 1 it will fail. It should be 01 because that's how they just written the formulas for this sheet. Okay, and year 2018. Done. So the same name it will take for these three definitions. Currency it will use in the ledger definition. The month once at year and adjusting physical. This information system will use only to create the accounting calendar. Fine. Now chart of accounts. So specify the segments here. Say segments are company or company segment label. You can say primary balancing segment, short prompt, company. Okay, the display width. Okay, it's not. It's basically it's not display width. It's so something like maximum size which will be specifying. Here I'll say 4 display width. I'll say 4 here, and company. Then we can go with the cost center segment. You may write as department or cost center. Department segment label for a department is cost center segment, and enter the short name. Display width for this segment is 4. Another one is account. For account, say natural account segment label. For this also you can give 4 or 5. This will give 4, and say project. So if you want to qualify with any label you can do it, or else you can ignore it. 4 and done. So in our chart of accounts we want to have 4 segments, and for which segment need to be mapped with which label also is specified. Now we need when 4 tabs within this spreadsheet to enter companies, departments and accounts and the project related information. So we know when you create the chart of account we have a rule condition. We should have minimum 2 segments. Those should be balancing under natural account, right? So balancing segment under natural account segments are mandatory when we design the chart of accounts. By following that condition, by default, Oracle is providing the 2 tabs, 2 sheets here. Okay, within this sheet 2 tabs here. Companies and legal entities. Here you can list out the companies which are related to your company segment. Okay, so and other one is accounts. Natural accounts also they given the tab. Companies and natural accounts they given for companies and accounts natural account. So we don't have any tabs for department and project. So what is the reason? Oracle cannot guess what segments clients will use, right? So that is the reason what they did is anyway 2 segments are mandatory. Those are company and balancing. Okay, company and account which are balancing under natural account segment. For those 2 they given the tabs. So here you can enter all your companies with a parent and child relation also. Up to this 9 levels the parent relation can be maintained. Child value, child will have a parent, parent will have grandparent. That's how you can create the relationship. Values you can enter, you can make that relation. The same way accounts also. You can provide accounts here. Okay. So financial sequence is a number generation that we'll discuss. So now we have only 2 tabs here, one for companies, other one for natural account. Okay, for department and project we don't have any sheets. So to generate those sheets you can click on add segment sheets. Okay, so once you click on add segment sheets, what system will do is System will go and verify for which segments balancing and natural account labels are selected. It will identify for company and account. Except these two segments, how many segments we have, for all those segments it will add the sheets here. That's how it works. It will ignore two segments which are mapped with a balancing and natural account. For rest of all segments, it will add the sheets. Now, if you click on add segment sheets, system will be adding two sheets here. Just click on add segment sheets. Add it. Project and department. Project and department. Let's take these into sequence. So drag and drop here. After companies, you need department. After natural accounts, okay, you need project. So company, department, natural account, project. Anyway, the sequence we have here already. The same sequence system will follow, but here the sheets also we are keeping in the sequence. Fine. So this is how we have to decide the number of segments, and we have to add the additional sheets for the segments which you are adding other than balancing and natural account. Fine, done. So now we can move to business units. Go to business units tab. Here you can specify how many business units you are going to have. Say cloud RI. So how we given the name? Cloud or all uppercase we given. Okay, no issues. Here we'll write like this. Cloud RI US business unit. And for that, which is a default legal entity, that we have to write here. Let's say we can write as Cloud RI USA legal entity. Done. So that's how you can list out a number of BUs, how many BUs you have, and associated legal entities also you can specify here. Done. Now go to the tab called as companies and legal entities. Companies and legal entities. Here you can create child and parent relationship. Up to 9 levels you can create the parent. So here what we can do is, I'll say parent 1, all companies. Let's say 9999, all companies. And here you can enter companies like 1000, Cloud RI financial services. Okay, and you can list out a number of companies. Say 2000, Cloud RI consulting services, company 3000, Cloud RI, so BPO services. So this is how just you have to add the values here. Okay, and here we have to specify legal entities for, save it. Here we have to provide the legal entity information. So whatever the information we provide, based on the system will create the legal entity. Fine. So here we given the name. In the business unit level we given the name. So we have to make sure that here whatever the name we give, the name will match the names which we are going to provide here. So instead of typing here, I'll copy and paste. With this name we need legal entity. That same legal entity we want to assign to this view. Okay, so we know like how we create the legal entity in the system. Same process we have to follow. Whatever the information we provide, same we have to provide. For this, identifier name and city, state, all the details we have to provide here. Okay, better we can go to the instance. We'll take the details from the instance only. Okay, we can go to search or we can do it from project. So go to legal addresses. So we have a task called as manage legal addresses, right? From the task only we created address for our LE. We are not going to create just to take the reference. Okay, we are going to this page. Fine. So here we may select postal code. Select any one of the value. Now from here we can take that reference. So city name. So here identifier, legal entity identifier you can give as cloud, some number. Country is United States. Address line, cloud RI address. So city name. Better before you take into the sheet, take into notepad and just copy paste here. And state name. Okay. Everything just instead of copying directly, take into notepad. Any formats system will remove. You take here. And county. This county name. And finally provide postal code. Fine. So and you can give the registration number, clouds, and whatever the registration number you have for the business that you can give. Reporting unit registration number. So we know like all this information you can get from the registration documents which will be provided by client. Done. So now for this company we specified which is the legal entity, and for company 2000 and 3000 also we have to specify. See now what will happen for this company when you just give this name, all the fields are open in white color. So if you are going to enter the same business unit for this, okay, company, what system will do? See here. So once you select, its system is grayed out all these fields. That means already for this legal entity related detail information is given. For again for this company, all the specifications are not required. If you give the name, that is enough. Same means it will system will just grade out all the fields. Okay, so one record is enough. System will create with this record legal entity that will assign to specific balance and segment value. We assign balance and segment values for legal entity, right? So that purpose here we are specifying. Okay, so done. So in the companies and legal entities, we listed out all the companies. We create one parent company also, and here we have a three companies we given, and the legal entity definition also we given. Since we want to go with the same legal entity, the information you don't need to repeat multiple times. Done. Now you can go to department tab. You can enter all the departments here. You may say one as a, it's not parent is not mandatory, just You can specify here if you want to give. So all departments. So if you don't want to give parent directly from here, you can enter all the child values. So department 1000, finance department, HR department, marketing.
Lakshman, what is the purpose of parent-child relationship here?
You don't know in EBS?
No, I do not.
We'll discuss later in the end of the session. That is a basic concept in EBS to understand. We'll discuss because now if I start explaining, many people don't agree. Okay, we'll discuss in the end of the session. Fine. So go to natural accounts. Here you can provide all the accounts and account types and attributes we have, right? So value attributes, financial category and all. You can specify account type, which type of account, expense, revenue, all you can specify. That will do it bit later. Now we can go to segment called as project. So here if you want to maintain any value as a just parent, just you can enter that value. And here you can say all projects. Here you can write the project names, say EBS projects, cloud projects. You can just list out all. So you can write. Okay. So we given companies information, department information, and project related information. Now we have to provide natural accounts. So we know like we get all these accounts information from the client, and you can decide on how to group, how to provide the numbering, what is the number size, maximum size you want to keep. That completely we decide as a part of chart of account design solution. Okay. So now here what we'll do is now we need many accounts. So Oracle is providing some sample data within this sheet only, spreadsheet only. So go to instructions. Okay, within instructions, here you have a sample data sheet also. Open this, double click, it will open. So here see the sample sheet. This is a sample sheet. So within that, these are the segments they are using. These are the labels they are using. This is how they given the short prompts and display width and all they given. Now they given the business units here and the companies we have. So based on this only in the instance you can see some sample vision related definitions. This is the vision data they given. And, here they given the companies and the legal entities. How they have companies, the child companies, parents. Okay, it's all reporting purpose, right? Relationship and the natural accounts. Here they taken all the natural accounts and LOB line of businesses, cost centers, products. So everything they taken. Now we have a four segments. For three segments already we given the data. For the fourth, the natural account segment, we can take the data from here. So the position they have up to parent 5. Just that's how they prepared the data. Sorry. So now we can copy this. So parent 5, just note this point. The same we have to copy and paste in our sheet also. I'm going to copy this data.
Lakshman, this data is provided by Oracle?
Yeah, this data is provided to Oracle. We are finding in the same sheet, right, which we downloaded just now. Sample data they
Okay.
provide. Yeah. Okay, sample data they provided. Just this is for our understanding how sheet can be prepared, how data can be maintained. Okay, just copy this. Okay, copy this and go to R sheet. So we can close. So here is a natural accounts. Place cursor in the parent file. That's how we copied, paste it. So yes, it takes some time to just see it's processing here. So wait for some time. It is under process. It is just not taking exactly the same information to the sheet with the detailed validation. Just wait for some time. So it's showing as it's processing. Oh, just it takes couple of minutes time. We have to wait for that. Since we're just copied and pasted, it won't take as a normal data. We will make sure that within it also all the LOV values are available or not. Properly it is just getting copied or not. From that it will validate. Yeah, please. Any question?
Yeah, Lakshman, I think here these values are having display width 5, right? And we have
I'll come
given
to that.
4.
I'll come to that point. Yes, I just I remember that. I remember. So
Okay.
to discuss that point only, I just given 4 over there. Yeah, now it's done. Okay, now it's done. So here, just go through that information here. So all these account types, all accounts are assets, and remaining are expenses, revenue, ownership related account. All the accounts we have. And if you scroll little right here, you could see financial category. Okay, that will be discussing as a part of payables. But anyway, just notice for few accounts, the financial category here they didn't, instead of giving over there, here they returned earnings account. So see here, they given this account ownership equity attribute, value attribute name hyphen returned earnings. When you provide this, what system will do is it will just take automatically into ledger options, or else here also you can specify. Okay, here also you'll be finding all the specifications. Okay, the depending on account you can specify based on that. If you just, why we have to give this here, ownership, liability, revenue and all we have here. Apart from that, if you just give this representation, what it will do is this retained earnings account system will select into ledger options automatically. We have a specified ledger options. So when you create through manual process, we'll create ledger and we have to provide the specific code combination for retained earnings account. So in the sheet, if you specify here hyphen retained earnings, system will identify this as retained earnings account, and it will, by using this account, it will create the code combination. In the same way, the revenue, okay, so it's a revenue account and all, wherever just when we are working on receivables, that account will get defaulted. So in the same way, like there are different accounts where they marked as a, what are the accounts are those when you just go, say for example you are setting system options in receivables, automatically this is the required accounts, what are the accounts are there, those will get defaulted. So this discounts accounts, If you mark those accounts as specific, okay, so those will just get defaulted. If you set this as a accounts payable, so when in the payable common options we have, right, in the payable common options, automatically this account system will take whenever you open. In the same way, see, they specify that is a prepayment account. That means here after label, sorry, attribute hyphen, if they give the specification as that is a prepayments, then automatically that would be taken into the specific setup definition also. But anyway, just accounts can get defaulted, but rest everything we have to enter. So here we have to understand primarily, so retained earnings account. So if you want to default, if you want system to provide the default code combination for retained earnings account, you have to just specify that as a retained earnings account. Based on this specification, system will be taking into the ledger options. Okay, these are the just labels we have. Sorry, attributes we have, value attributes, right? That's assets, liabilities, ownership, equity, and all. So if you want to make that to take into ledger options, accordingly you have to select ownership, equity. That's what's already selected here. This one. If you select a revenue auto invoice clearing, for that it will default wherever the account is required in the part of configuration. In the configuration process, these accounts will get default if you select all this. Employee liability, employee payable, automatically it will just select in the setup definition all these accounts. Fine. So that's how you can give specification also. We'll see that. We'll see how that will result. Okay, these are the accounts we maintain. Now just we are using here from sample data. So reality, we know how we just gather this information. Done. So in the sheet, when you copied, you could see that maximum size. They used 5. So when we are preparing this sheet, for all the segments we taken 4 only. So based on this data which we copied, okay, so just you can increase the size to 5, because here data we have with the 5, but here we specified only 4, that you can just add here. You can increase to 5. Now it will sync. Fine. And apart from that, financial sequence. So when you are creating the transactions, if you want to set the sequential numbering for these event classes or transactions, that you can give the specifications. Rest of configuration anyway you have to do it, but here the number generation, create sequential number, define sequential number we do in for payables and receivables, all these applications. So that instead of creating, the definition can be done by system automatically again. So when that has to restart, the number if you give 1, it has to run up to just monthly. It's the monthly ones, it has to repeat the same sequence. You can select monthly, otherwise every year you want to just repeat that sequence, restart, you can set. Or else if you give number as a 1, it should keep running all the time in the sequence, it should not get repeated. You can set never. So just you can specify that numbering if you want to use that, or else ignore it. So never it should keep running, that it should not repeat again same numbering monthly or annually. Let's set 1. So for everything we are giving 1. So this is how we have to prepare this sheet. Okay, so given all this information, business units we given, and we mapped legal entity also. So whatever the name you provide here, that name only you have to just have to maintain here, so that's how system will have validation the name.
Lakshman?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, actually, you have done the sequencing, no? This can't be done manually through the instance.
You can do that. You can do that here. You can ignore it. Not an issue. Just they give an option. That
Okay.
again, that is not
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
right. It's not complete definition. Just so one task. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Fine. So we given the all companies and we map the legal entities, and for legal entity creation through the spreadsheet, just we given all this record information also. And here we given all the departments, natural accounts, just we copied from the sample data sheet, which is available in the same sheet in the instructions, right? And projects we entered, financial sequences. If you want to provide, or else ignore it. Done. So now what we have to do is, this we have to convert into files. Before that, first step, here you could notice step 1, we have to validate this entire template. Just click on validate. System will verify. If anything wrong, it will give the message. Just click on validate. Validated. Okay, just for our understanding. So here I'll give format system. Clearly the pop-up shows month should be in the 2 digits. Okay, but I am giving as a just 1. First John 1 only I given, not 01. Now you submit for validation. Giving the message. Chart of account in this sheet. Field called as physical year start date, period frequency. Here date, okay, must not be prior to the year 1950. Enter a valid date with this format only. Okay, specify a date 28 or less than calendar month, period frequency. So all these, just it's a, this could be the reasons why it is failing. That's how they are giving the information. Okay, now you can go and correct. We know the reason. So since it's a monthly, this is a frequency, you have to physically a start date. They're just addressing that. Now what you can do is, so correct to right format, again submit, validate. Now validation successful, no errors found. So this is how we have to validate. After validating, we have to generate 2 files. Step 2, generate chart of accounts file. Step 3, generate ledgers, LEs and BUs file. Okay, we have to generate these 2 files, and we have to load these files into application in the sequence only. First we have to load this file. We have to upload this file. So once after creating the chart of accounts, with the help of this file, we can load this file. So by using the chart of accounts, system will create the ledger and LEs and BUs definitions. Okay, first after entering the data, we have to validate that sheet. If validation doesn't have any issues, then you can go ahead with the step 2. Say generate chart of accounts file. Click on this. Okay, the sheet we can save on the desktop. Let's create one folder. RI, rapid implementation folder. You can save this zip file into that folder. Save. It's not responding. What we'll do is, first you try to save this sheet. Where we just have this sheet, we'll take into the same folder. First save this folder sheet. Now say generate chart of accounts file. The same you can save into the same folder. Save. Now you can generate the ledger, LE and BU file. So generation you can do at a time, just you can save it, but when you're loading only, we have to follow the sequence. See, for this is another file. Financial common entities means ledger, BU and LEs. Save into same folder. Done. So this is how we have to prepare the data and we have to generate the files. Now you can close it, we don't need it. Fine. Now go to application. Close all this. So we are here, right? So from here only we downloaded that spreadsheet. Okay, next to that we have upload chart of accounts task and upload ledgers, legal entities and business unit task. First we have to upload the chart of accounts. After when you submit upload chart of accounts, what system will do, we'll talk about that. Okay, just we'll submit and we'll discuss on that. So we have the sheets ready here, right? We given the name as RI, right? Chart of accounts under financials common entities means this file consists of data related to ledgers, legal entities and business unit. It has data only related to chart of accounts. Fine. So first we have to load this chart of accounts file. So here we know how to navigate, right? Just so you have to search for rapid and will be landing in this other page. If you click on this define common financial configuration for rapid implementation, you can see all this from this task. By using this task only we downloaded sheet and we entered data. Now we can use the task called as upload chart of accounts. Click on upload chart of accounts. Okay, here click on browse that file. The file we have in the this folder. Click on this folder and select chart of accounts and submit. Now what system is going to do, we submitted this file. Okay, it takes some time, so maybe 5 minutes or more than sometimes. So now meantime we'll discuss what system will do. Now we submitted COA related file, chart of accounts file. Now what system will do is, first it will create value sets. Okay, it will create value sets and it will add values into value sets, and it will do that attribute assignments, right? When you create the segment values, will provide allow budgeting, allow posting, summary. In case of natural account type, all the specifications. It will add values into value segments. It defines with all the required value attributes, nothing but segment qualifiers as per EBS. And it will create chart of accounts. The process, whatever we submitted now, the process, it will create chart of accounts. Sorry, yeah, it will create chart of accounts instance and it will deploy. So this all task system will perform now. Okay, so the process which we submitted, so based on the data which we have in that file, that is chart of accounts related file. So first it will create value sets and it will add values. It will create the chart of accounts means it will create segments. It will assign the value set to segments and it will assign the labels to the respective segment as we given in the rapid implementation spreadsheet. Then it will create the chart of account structure instance. Finally, it will deploy. These activities system will perform now. Think system is performing the same. So maintain value sets, created value sets, maintain chart of accounts hierarchies means within the segments we given the hierarchy parent and child, right? That hierarchy is created. We'll wait for some time. It has to complete. Okay, it's completed. Fine. So now we can see the jobs are completed. Now we can go and find out our value sets. Within the value set values, chart of account structure instance, which is already deployed. We'll go and verify now. Just click on done. Okay, fine. From here also we can find it. So value sets. First we'll go to the value sets, whether system created value sets or not. So say chart of accounts, value sets. So manage chart of accounts, value sets. Go to this task. So search for our value sets. So which name system will take for value set? When we created the sheet, okay, so we created this sheet and we given these are the segment names and this is the name we given. So system will take the value set name with a combination of segment name and this given name. Okay, we'll check it. So search for segment called as company value set. You have to first you have to give the segment name company, then here you can go with the cloud RIV given, right? That's how it has to create. This is a value set system created company. This is segment name. This is the name which we given in the spreadsheet. Okay, so this is how combination system will take. In the same way for every okay segment you can find value set. This is a cloud RI. It's a department. Account value set. Same way project. Okay, project. So if you just click on manage values, click on search, you can find all the values which we given in the spreadsheet. Okay, so 4 values, one parent we given. See here, notice the point. So we given as a parent. When you give as a parent summary, it will select as a yes. Okay, since parent value, we know like we set in EBS. If you enable any segment value as a parent value, we set allow posting and allow budgeting as a no. Basically, if we set to parent, we don't use that value to record the transactions and to set the budget most of the cases. So that is by default, that's how they programmed. So the same system is taking. Okay, the same way you can check for other value sets also. The same values we can find. So this is how we can find out the value sets created by system. Now we'll go and see chart of accounts. Okay, task name is manage chart of account structures. So flex field is accounting. So manage structures. Structure code or name you can give as a cloud RI. That's how we given the name right in the spreadsheet. This name only it will take. Here, whatever the name you given, that name it will take. So, but reality when you are doing the implementation, here we cannot write for calendar or cloud RI calendar, cloud RI just a chart of accounts and all. So just will give the short name. Once system will create, you can change the name. So this is how it created. We may click on edit. You can give the name as cloud RI accounting flex field. You can update later after creating. If you want to update, you can update. You could see the 3-4 segments taken, and if you open the company segment, so value set system assigned company cloud RI, it's selected label also. Fine, and you can just select any. So for account, it assigned natural account segment label, and it is assigned just the default value set what system created. Done. So now just we edited. Okay, we did some changes. We opened. That is the reason system is showing not deployed. Earlier it was deployed only. Fine. So that file, okay, once you upload that file, these are the activities system will perform. Now we have one more file, right? Okay, that we have to submit. We'll go and do it for completing this task. Fine, deployment is completed. Now you can say okay. Okay. Now we can proceed with that file upload process. So to perform that, you can search for Rapid and just click on this task, define common financial configuration for Rapid implementation. And here you can find the task called upload ledger, legal entities and business units. Click on this task and browse that file. So name is financial common entities. Select and submit. Now what this process will do? What this process will do is, first it will create accounting calendar. Then it will create primary ledger. And next step would be it will create legal address. And it will create legal entity. It will assign LE to primary ledger. Then this process will assign BSVs, balance and segment values, to LE. Okay, after that it will create, so it will submit the task called as review and submit accounting configuration, just to complete the ledger definition. Before that it will set that you can add here. It will create the primary ledger. It will set return earnings account in ledger options. After that it will create legal address. Based on legal address it will create legal entity, and the LE will be assigned to legal entity, will be assigned to primary ledger, and the balance segment values will be assigned to LE. And it will submit the task called as review and submit accounting configuration, which will complete the ledger definition. At the same time the data will flow into SPS also, as we discussed earlier. So after completing this, it will create business unit, and it will assign, sorry, business unit business functions. For creating the business unit, we assign business unit business functions for BU, right? That task also system will do. Which functions it will assign to BU? All functions it will assign by default. If you don't need, you can remove it. So whatever the file which we submitted just now, that file, based on that file, these are the sequence of activities system is going to perform now. We'll go and see what is the status. Okay, fine. So the jobs are completed. Now we can proceed. You could see the upload enterprise structure and hierarchies. One is showing as warning. There won't be an issue, like so template is validated. You don't find any issue with that. So now we can go and verify. First we'll check the accounting calendar. Accounting calendar. Manage accounting calendars. So here is accounting calendar. You can click on name, the last defined period. So by default, what system will do is it creates the periods for 2 years, created for 18 and 19. So it's displaying for 19. You can search for 2018. So start date is 1st Jan 18. Here it's got selected. And this or else you select all here, then it will display. 18. So by default, this process creates 2 years periods for 2 years in accounting calendar. Okay, done. If you want to modify the name, you can modify it now. For display purpose, how it should appear. Just we given as Cloud RI. Here we may write it as a Cloud RI accounting calendar, or 13 periods, 14 periods. You can write it. The next task is primary ledger. We'll go and verify the primary ledger. Sorry, there was some network issue. It got disconnected, I guess. Primary ledger, right? Primary ledger. So manage primary ledgers. Here we can find our primary ledger. How system will create our primary ledger? Just it takes the same name Cloud RI and it will add suffix as a US, because within that ledger currency is USD. Accordingly, it will take the name Cloud RI. You search with a country code Cloud RI US. So status is confirmed. Now you can go and verify the system selected the returned earnings account or not. You can go to our project. From project you can verify. Whereas from here also you can verify the task. If you want to do from here, select financials, search for ledger options. So it shows specify ledger options. But we never do setups from here. We always do from the project only. Okay, so specify ledger options. Here scope Google US ledger is selected, but not we are not talking about this. We're talking about Cloud RI. So select Cloud RI US. If you go to ledger options, you can find the returned earnings account. Already system taken. Okay, automatically system will take it. Reason in the spreadsheet level for the account called as returned earnings, we selected classification as a ownership and returned earnings. Because of that, it takes. It will create legal address. Okay, and it will create legal entity that system will assign to primary ledger. You don't need to see legal address and legal entity definition. Directly we can go and see whether LE is assigned to primary ledger or not. Okay, here you can see assign balance and segment values to legal entity. You can notice here for Cloud RI US, the legal entity is already assigned, and these balance and segment values are assigned to legal entity. Assigned, submitted, and we can go and find our business unit. So for business unit, we given the name also, right? Exact name we given. Search for task called as manage business units. It's not. So this all selection is not required. Business unit, it should be business unit. Click on this task. You can find our BU. The spreadsheet we given the name as Cloud RI US business unit. So you can find it. See which location it taken. It create location automatically basically. So within this it is not showing. So normally what it will do, it create location. I'm not finding in this instance. It creates some location combination and it will take automatically, but here it's not taking anyway. Finally that will overwrite. So without location created, you can create location and you can add to this. Okay, and it is selecting default set as a common set. And business unit set assignments, business unit business functions. You can click on this assign business unit business functions. Here you can notice as system already assigned all the business functions to our BU. See, primary ledger is assigned and legal entity, default legal entity is assigned to this BU, and all the business functions are enabled by default through this rapid implementation process. Okay, this is all about rapid implementation process, how we can load the data. Okay, you can just go through this rapid task. With this term you can search, you can find all the information for financial reporting structures. For all the areas we have a rapid implementation sheets. Okay, you can find the module wise also, you can find where this is applicable, which data you can load. Process remains same, but you can just go through it. So this sheets you can use, like this is how you can prepare and load anytime. If you see instance got refreshed and all, simply again you can submit the same two files. Okay, the files here what we have. So now say I loaded this data, and based on that I will go with the further configuration. If I see the instance got refreshed, simple, I'll just submit these two files into system. It will create the definition. So if you want to submit this, project is not mandatory. Okay, directly you can submit. If you want to access the data, project will become mandatory. Or else whatever we tried just now, from here also we'll be able to do that assignments. You can verify the data. So this is all about rapid implementation process. Any questions on this, please?
Lakshman,
Yeah, please.
we have FPDI. We have FPDI templates in Fusion. What is the difference between this rapid implementation and FPDI?
We covered both, right? You just tell me what you understood.
See, here we have only setups, it seems, normally. There I found the transactions like customer master data and all.
Exactly. That is the first point. Customers not. It's a transaction only. Transactional.
Transaction
That is again setup data. That is the first.
Yeah.
Second point is this is offline activity. Rapid implementation, right?
Okay.
That is online activity. You are online in the sense it's on the data which you will be selecting from LOVs, that is the system will be pulling from instance.
Okay, yeah.
But in this, Oracle just programmed and maintained values based on we are downloading the sheet from the instance only. As per that instance version, what data should be maintained within the template, they already loaded into instance that we are downloading.
Okay, yeah.
This is one-time activity purpose. That is ongoing activity. Users will use that. This is consultants will use, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
these are the points you can notice. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Any other questions from anyone, please?
Once we deploy the chart of account, can we make any changes to it? Like, how do we do that? Because in R12 we can freeze and then unfreeze. Here, how do we do unfreeze after we deploy?
That option is not there. That's what we discussed at the time of chart of accounts creation itself. No freeze, unfreeze. It's all about deployment only. Think all the time. Yeah, please.
So once we create the chart of account and then we deploy it, can we make any changes to it?
Yes, you can do anytime. You can do it. Okay.
Okay, so we don't have to do anything special.
Please control we don't have. You can go and do the changes.
Okay, so we don't have to do any pre-step before making any changes.
No pre-step. In EBS also what we do, just we will uncheck, freeze. I will unfreeze and we'll go and do it. After doing changes, we'll freeze it, then system will force us to compile. Right? If you try to close, it will trigger automatically. But here manually you have to perform the deployment. System may not prompt you to do it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Any other questions from anyone, please? Okay, 1 second. Let me stop the recording. We'll talk about somebody asked question, parent and child and all. Yeah, please. Seems to.
Lakshman, this is Ram.
Yeah, Ram, please.
Actually, this is regarding EBS R12 course. Like I have subscribed into that course.
Okay, Ram, one second. Just, we will talk maybe after winding up these discussions. Yeah, just give me 1 minute. We'll see if any other questions from any participants. We'll discuss. If no questions, I'll stop the recording. Then we'll talk about that course or any other information. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, great. Fine. Any other questions related to today's session, please?